Hey everyone, today I would like to share with you why I knit the majority of my socks using Jamison and Smith 2-ply jumper weight yarn. I know, a lot of you are thinking to yourself, that's not a good sock yarn. Okay, but is that necessarily true? Welcome everyone to my 5th episode of Knitting Like a Cave Woman. My name is Miriam and I'm coming to you from Southern Illinois in the United States. Welcome. All right, let's get into it. Well, actually, first I just want to say thank you so much to all of you who have subscribed and sent me wonderful, wonderful comments about starting my YouTube channel. And I honestly, the first 2 videos, I hardly got any views, and I just honestly thought, oh my gosh, I completely suck at this. But anyways, I just kind of hung in there, and then I don't know, like one of my videos just kind of like took off and people started finding me, and it's just been so wonderful to like just read all the comments and see how I've like inspired people to maybe knit some Marie Wallin patterns, and how some people didn't even know about Marie Wallin or her books. And so anyways, that's just really what I was hoping for, that I could just make some videos and hopefully just inspire people out there to just, you know, to do some, to get out of their comfort zone. So thank you so much. Yeah, it's just really warmed my heart. Also, I have just recently flown in just a few days ago from Scotland. I just took a trip to Scotland for a couple weeks, so I'm really suffering from like jet lag. My sleeping habits is just like really all messed up. So you know, just bear with me for that. So okay, you know, I just want to say one more thing. On the way coming home on my plane ride, my knees were absolutely killing me. I mean, I feel like I'm kind of like a small person and I could fit on the seat. You know, I have a like room in my seat, but something happened to me on the plane that I was just like, oh my gosh, did that like really happen? So I was in the middle of the seat section, and there was a girl to the left of me, like, you know, she had the window seat, and then there was somebody in the aisle seat. And when the girl next to me in the window seat, when she got on the plane, she was so tall. Like I think she probably was like a basketball player. I mean, I don't know for sure, or she could have been a volleyball player, but she had like sports athletic clothes on, and she was so tall. I was like, I don't even know like how she's gonna like fit on the seat next to me. So she got in there, and I felt so bad for her. Like her knees barely, they barely made it like in the little small space. So she had to like literally put one of her legs like in my section of my seat. And honestly, I just didn't have like the heart to like tell her like, you're in my space. Because it must have just been absolutely horrible for her to like even sit in that small space. But anyways, in the middle of the flight, she tapped me on the shoulder and said that she had to go to the bathroom. So I said to the, you know, woman next to the right, you know, she's gonna have to like move out. And like, so the woman in the right, you know, got up and went in the aisle. And then before I even like got out of my seat to move in the aisle, the girl that I think was like the basketball player, I kid you not, I don't even know how she maneuvered her body, but you guys, she stepped over me with her legs, like her crotch was like right over my head, like her whole body just went, and it was like, before I knew it, she was like in the aisle, like she walked over the 3 chairs. Like, anyways, I was just like, wait, did that really happen? And like, before I knew it, she was like down the aisle of the plane. So yeah, I was just like in complete disbelief. And then on the way back, she did the same exact thing. The woman in the aisle got up real quick and moved, and then she just walked over my head and then somehow managed to crunch herself back into the seat. Anyways, I just had to share that story. That I was just like, oh my gosh, did that really even happen? So, all right, let's get into it. So, I have been knitting using the Jamison Smith yarn to knit socks forever. Okay, I've been knitting socks for over 30 years, and no one really ever told me that you needed to have nylon in your socks. Like, no one ever told me that. I didn't know. I just was knitting using all kinds of wools that did not have nylon in it. And you guys, nothing has ever happened to my socks. Like, in years. I'm not saying that I've never gotten any holes in my socks. I'm going to get to that. But for years, I do a lot of hiking. I do a lot of walking. I honestly think I'm could be rough on my socks. But over the years of me like really getting into knitting socks, I have figured out little things to make my socks just last forever. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to do a video on it, and I'm going to share all my tips. Because on the way coming home on the plane from Scotland, I was like, you know what? I had a lot of time to think about like, why is my socks held up? And you know what? I'm going to share all my little tips with you guys. So, first of all, I really honestly believe that it really has nothing to do with if you have nylon in your socks or like in your yarn, or you don't. I really don't even believe that. I believe it really has to do with how you take care of your feet. I really do. I have been taking care of my feet like my whole life. I don't know why. There's just something about my feet that I just pamper my feet. I've never liked having like calluses on my feet. I've never even liked the look of it. Like when I see people in the summertime and they're wearing sandals and their feet look all dry and rough and cracky. There's something about it that I'm just like, like take care of your feet. You know, we all have these little things, these little hang-ups or whatever, and mine is like feet. Like I have to have good feet. And I'm not like even the type of person that like goes and like gets my toenails painted and all that. No, I don't never paint my toenails. I don't even paint my fingernails. I don't have nails. I don't even go to the salon and like get my nails done or my toenails. I just like pamper my own feet, like, you know, at home by myself. So for years, you know, I just started, you know, for years, I just had a bucket, just a good old bucket. I would like soak my feet, and this is like your friend, what is this called? A Pumice Stone? I can't even remember what the name of this is. But anyways, yeah, this is your friend. Is just a little sanding bar to like sand down your calluses. And I think you really have to just get into the habit of, especially if you are going to be knitting socks and you want your socks to last. is just, get a Pumice Stone and just, once or twice a week when you're standing in the shower, just, just get the dead, dry stuff off, you sand down your calluses. And as I've gotten older now, I'm in my 60s, I used to be able to just, balance on one foot and just like, sand down my feet. But now I'm like scared to death of like slipping in the tub and like, breaking my hip or whatever. So now I just like, after I'm like finished with my shower, I just leave a little bit of water like build up in the tub just a little bit, and then I put the plunger in, turn the shower off, and then I just sit on the side of the tub, and just once or twice a week I just kind of like sand down my feet. And I'm telling you, that's all you really have to do. You just need to really get into the habit of doing that. And then after that, I'm just really big on just get yourself some lotion and just lotion up your feet, and you just have to really get into the habit of it. So that is one of the things that I think is really, really important and why my socks have lasted so long. Okay, the next thing is your toenails. I think if you've got some long toenails just digging into your sock, that's it. That's just putting wear and tear on the fibers, and your feet are in the shoe, and those nails are just digging into your shoe. You're going to get a hole in your sock. So, I think the toenail care, as far as like keeping your nails filed down and rounded out. And I know, I get it. There's a lot of women out there that want their toenails painted. They want, little stickers or whatever on their toenails, and like, they want to show their toenails off in the summer with their sandals. But, for me, I'm always wearing knitted socks. I want my socks to last, and I just have my toenails just filed down very well. Okay, the other thing is, I think it has to do with how we walk. All of us have a different walking style. I knit my husband a pair of socks once, and they literally lasted him 2 days. And I realized because his walk is, he likes to drag his heels when he walks. That's just the style of walking. And I thought, that's it. I'm never knitting you a pair of socks ever again. And I don't have that kind of walk. I pick my feet up when I walk. So I think, the longevity on your socks too is depending how you walk, how you drag your feet. Also, there's also the shoe itself. We all have different types of feet. Some people have very meaty feet. Some people have little skinny feet. Some people have feet that have calluses on them or nodules or whatever, It's really going to depend too of your foot, how it's in the shoe. Is it tight in the shoe? Is it loose in the shoe? I mean, all of these things play a part on how long your socks are going to last. And I really think that it doesn't matter if you have nylon in your socks, or, if you do or you don't. I really think it's just plays a part in how your feet are, how you walk, and, all kinds of how you take care of your feet. So I am very particular about my shoes because I do a lot of walking, I do a lot of exercising. I do not want my feet to be sore in any shoe. So I learned years ago that my favorite shoes are a round toe shoe. I have to have a round toe shoe. I went through years of like wearing cowboy boots where they're all like pointed and stuff, and I was just miserable. I don't even know how I wore those for years. And then I just discovered that round toe shoes are my friend. So this is my shoe. It's gross. It's old, but it's a round toe shoe. This is my shoe that I like go hiking with. I'm do long walks in it. It's just a very nice, flexible round toe shoe, which I really honestly probably need a new pair. All of my shoes are all leathered, round toe. They just really help with my knitted socks, and they are just a really comfortable shoe for me. So I think those are things to consider. Also, I also think that your flooring, when you get inside your house, how's your flooring? Do you have carpeting? You know, I mean, carpeting is going to really help out with your socks. I don't have carpeting in most of my house. My house is, we had a bunch of dogs at one time, so we have got like slate flooring in our country house because I just wanted the dogs to come in if they were muddy, wet, whatever. I was just like not dealing with the floor. Now, unfortunately, slate flooring is really hard on socks. So, you know, I don't come in and like take my socks off. I'm always wearing my socks. So I have learned to just put a little pair of slippers, that I made. And actually I was going to show you a pair of my slippers, but I forgot to bring them over here. But I just always wear little slippers on the slate flooring because I'm always wearing knitted socks. I don't want them to get trashed. So honestly, I buy a lot of Jamison Smith yarn because I'm doing so much color work out there. But over the years, you know, I want to support other, you know, yarn shops and stuff. So I'm just always on the search for sock yarn. And I had really found that it really doesn't matter to me like what the sock yarn is. I'm not a big fan of like the superwash yarns, and even like, you know, all of the sock yarns with the merino and has a nylon. I'm not saying that I never use that, but it's not my go-to. It's not the stuff that like really excites me. So I have just a whole bunch of yarns that I've just bought over the years. Like this is like Bio Shetland, which it's just 100% wool. It's not even Shetland wool, but I feel that it's very similar to the Jamison and Smith. And I don't know, I just really enjoy the 100% wool with no nylon, just the feel of it. I don't know, I just really love it. I just can't get enough of it. The Woolly Thistle also has their Rambler yarn, and it does not have nylon in it. Let me, if I remember right, I think it's a blend. Okay, it's a blend of Dorset, Corriedale, and Gray Romney. And I actually like this yarn too. It's a little splitty, I think, when you're knitting with it, but it makes a really tight, dense sock yarn. Let me see if I have it here somewhere. Oh, it's right here. Okay. This is this was made with a Rambler in a different, I don't remember what the name of this color was, but you know, it's hard because like, you know, I'm on camera and you don't really get the feel of it, but it makes a really dense sock, and I could just feel it, that it's just a lot more sturdy, you know, sturdier. It doesn't have that little softness that it would have if I'm using the Jamison. But honestly, this sock, I've worn this sock for I don't know, probably at least a year, maybe a year and a half. And it looks really good. Like just each, you know, from washing it and stuff like that, it's like nothing's ever happened to it. But that's how I kind of feel about the Jamison too. Like my Jamison socks I've had like forever, and they always just wash and wear like really good. I also do a lot of, I spin my own wool, and I've just spun stuff out of like Romney and different fibers, and it just doesn't matter what yarn I use. All my socks just kind of seem to hold up. And even if I'm doing lace work or, you know, cables. And this is Jamison. So honestly, I would not be afraid unless you have some like really wonky feet or something. I really would not be afraid to just use yarn that does not have nylon in it. Also, when this is kind of funny, when I got back from Scotland, I realized, oh my gosh, I did so much walking, like miles and miles and miles. And I was like, okay, if one of my socks ends up, you know, with a hole in it, like, so be it, because I did so much walking. And there was even one time where I actually went to the beach and then I got like sand in my sock. And I was like, okay, this sock is for sure probably going to get a hole in it. Okay, I'm going to show you my socks. They have not even gotten washed yet from my trip. You guys, these are my socks. And guess what? Nothing happened to them. Nothing. Yeah, this one is the one pair where I walked on the beach and there was just like, I put my socks back on. They had sand. I was like, for sure, this is going to get a hole in it. Nope, nothing happened. I also think, but here's one thing that I did notice, because this sock did get wet. It had the sand in it from the beach and everything. I do notice that when there's no nylon in it, it's just all wool, it's going to slightly felt a little bit just from like the abrasion and, you know, stuff. But I honestly think that like when it felts and the fibers bind together, that it just makes the sock even more like structurally sound. Like it doesn't seem like it's gonna get a hole in it. So I'm not really sure why certain yarns get a bad rap. I have no idea about that. And here's another pair that I've had. I mean, sorry, I'm showing you my dirty socks, but these are socks, a pair that I've had for a gazillion years. And I mean, you could see that like the color is just like kind of fading out. But honestly, like this sock is probably at least like probably 15 years old. I mean, honestly, like the longevity of my socks, I mean, for a sock to really even last like 7 years, like really, I mean, that's a lot of sock wear, you know. But I've had socks forever, like, and yeah, they just don't get holes in them. Here's another interesting little fact. In the 30 years or more that I have been knitting socks, I have only mended socks 2 times. That's it. 2 times. And I have those socks here to show you. And not only have I mended the socks, but I mean, honestly, just the longevity that I've had of these socks. Here's a sock that I just recently mended, just a couple, like before I took my trip. I actually sat down and like mended these socks. And honestly, I could have just like thrown them away because I was like, I have a gazillion pairs of socks, you guys. Like you have no idea how many socks I have. I give socks to our local homeless shelter. I give socks to, there's a woman's home shelter that we have too, and I make a lot of socks and scarves and stuff and hats for that. And I constantly am giving away socks for like gifts. Like last Christmas. I gave my niece like 7 pairs. Like, I knit a lot of socks. I even just took, when I was on my trip in the bus in Scotland, I, once again, knitting pair of Jamison socks. And I'm just taking the stripes and just kind of like, you know, just making my own color scheme. So anyways, here's my socks that I mended about 3 weeks ago. And I could have just thrown this away, but I was like, you know what? The rest, I mended it right there. The rest of the sock is still just like really good. So I was like, you know what? I could save this sock, you know. Here's another sock that, and you know, I don't even care. Like, it doesn't have to be pretty when you're mending a sock. It's going to be in your shoe on the bottom. But this sock had a hole in it, and I had to mend this. Okay, and here's another interesting thing. So these 2 pairs of socks that I had to mend, guess what? These are the yarn that have nylon in them. So they were like actual sock yarn socks. And that's what got the holes in them, which I find that to be pretty interesting. So, okay, that is the story of my socks and why I pretty much use the Jamison and Smith, because it just has a lot of colors. It's sock yarn, you know, it's yarn that I have laying around from doing all my color work. And no one ever told me years ago that it was not a good sock yarn. And you know what? I just don't believe it. If they were to tell me that now, I just don't believe it. So here's something that I just recently bought when I was in Scotland. I bought this little package, and once again, it's just some yarn that doesn't have any nylon in it. And you know, it's going to be used for sock yarn. So that is the story with that. And also, oh, what am I wearing? I am wearing the pattern, once again, you know, my same old pattern that, so it's the little Forage tank. Cannot get enough of it. That I just knit it with the stockinette stitch. I just took this whole little fancy panel out and I just knit it in stockinette. And this is knit with the Lion brand linen in orange. So that's what's going on there. Also, a lot of you had asked me what I was wearing in my last video. And I was wearing this little lace top that it's just 2 squares. It's just 2 squares. And I took the lace panel from a book. And this is the book. The book is Knitted Socks, East and West. And I'll show you the panel, or I'll show you the pair of socks, because I can't show you the chart. But it's actually a pair of socks that I have knit. Actually, it's right here. Here's a pair of socks right here. So this is the same thing that the pink top is knit in. And here's the little socks. It's called the Kaiso sock. I just think those socks are just adorable. I have knit the socks so many times. And I just thought it would make the cutest little top. So this is knit with the Lion brand linen. And it's just 2 squares. 2 squares put together, and it just made the cutest little top. So that is that. And I also wanted to say that my absolute favorite knitting sock book is by Anne Budd. It's Getting Started Knitting Socks. This was, you know, just the most amazing book as far as what got me into knitting socks. And she's got a lot of pictures in here for like every little thing that you're going to do. And then there's just pictures on, you know, how to do it. And I just knit, there's just a lot of really plain socks in here just to get you into knitting socks. And then, you know, from here you could go on to like, you know, advanced stuff. So this is like the book that really got me into socks. And then she also has the sock knitting master class. And actually I've knit a lot of socks out of here too. And I tend to make a lot of the same socks over and over again. Here's, I'm gonna show you another pair of socks that I have just knit a gazillion times, and I don't even have the a pair of these socks to show you because, oh, here it is, Almondine, because I just, for some reason, they turn out so beautifully that I just always end up giving them away as gifts, and I don't even have a pair of these. But this is called Almondine. I just think it is the most beautiful sock ever. Yeah, I probably knit the sock probably like 12 times. Awesome. Just getting ready to, I don't have a lot of like other finished things to show you because I just got back from vacation and I was gone for a couple weeks and I just really wasn't even like hardly working on stuff except for that little pair of socks that I brought. So I don't have a lot of stuff to show, but I also just recently bought this, the Joyful Colorwork socks by Charlotte Stone. And there are so many cute little things in here. So there's a little pair of carrot socks in here with little carrot. And I just recently got some other sock yarn because not that I don't really need to buy any more sock yarn, but sometimes when I'm at like a knit shop, I feel the need to like, you know, I want to support the knit shop. So I bought some, I think it was, is it Cascade 220? Might be like some solid color sock yarns because I needed a whole bunch of different colors like to do the little carrot socks. Let me see if I can find them. Oh yeah, they're so cute. I can't show you the chart, but yeah, the little carrot socks. So anyways, I've got to get those on my needles. All right, enough rambling on here. I'm going to play a little tune and let this come to an end. Thank you so much for everybody who's watching my videos. All right, let's see. I'm gonna sing a traditional tune. This is called, it's either called, some people call it Single Girl, and some people call it I Wish I Was a Single Girl. So I don't know, I've seen it called both titles. So this is an old traditional tune too. When I was single, I used to be afraid no one would wed me, and I died sorrow made. Now I am married, and I set me down to weep. husband chews tobacco when he snores in his sleep. Oh Lord, I wish I was single girl again. Lord, I wish I was single girl again. Oh Lord, I wish I was single girl again. Lord, I wish I was single girl again. When I was single, he always came to court. Used to buy me candy, and I thought he was a sport. Now I am married, and what do you think? He bought a gingham apron, and he showed me to the sink. Oh Lord, I wish I was single girl again. Lord, I wish I was single girl again. Oh Lord, I wish I was single girl again. Lord, I wish I was single girl again. When I was single, I was lonesome and so blue. All the women with their babies, so I wish I had one too. Now I got a baby's as sweet as a rose, but ain't it aggravating when you have to clean their nose? Oh Lord, I wish I was single girl again. 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 Woo! All right, everyone. Thank you for watching and subscribing. Bye-bye.